Hi, this is Eric.
Hi, this is LDH.
And this is Devblog Deep Dive number 39. So the Devblog starts off by mentioning that Wave 2.5 is almost finished. It's the 15th that you have up until. So if you would like to play the game, this is your last chance before this beta wave ends.
In the upcoming update, we're going to have clothing shops and wardrobes. And tell us what we're seeing here, Eric.
Absolutely. So this is the first image in the Devblog. And we seem to have this really cute pixelated clothing shop here. I see some sweaters in the background. I see just really nice visual graphics. And then we can see that we're in a shop here. So we're in an NPC shop of some kind. And there are different shirts, different coats, and every individual piece seems to have a buy price. So I guess we'll be spending our hard-earned money soon on clothes. There are going to be two wardrobe shops in the game. One will be in Jarvonia. The other one will be in GDTE. So I guess wherever you are in the game, you have to run too far to change your wardrobe.
The clothing that you own is what you choose during character creation. And if you'd like to own more clothing, you'll either buy them through the clothing shops or unlock them through achievements and quests.
They're also finally offering a barber system. Now, the barber system isn't just your hair. It's basically all the features that you did while you made your character. So in my case, I wasn't happy with some of the features on my character. So finally, we'll be able to adjust color. We'll be able to adjust face. In this case, it says you can change mustache. Looks like this character has a purple mustache, so that's interesting. And you can change your expression, which is pretty fun. So all of that we can do. And it says that it can be totally customized for the price of 1,000 money. So not like a super cheap price, but totally reasonable if you really intentionally want to change the way you look.
Next are some balancing changes brought to us by Flower Sifter, who's been a part of these attributes and scaling since the alpha. Now, Eric, you've been a part of this in an earlier wave than I have, really since the beginning of the closed beta, and I know that you love details like this, so fill me in on what this means to the average player like myself.
Sure. Well, first up, they have removed something that I've always thought was kind of out of place a little bit. Nomad Woods sold a steel axe. And like every tool you have to get in this game, especially at this point before there's trading, you have to kind of get it by grinding up your levels, grinding up your skills. And so, but in Nomad Woods, they simply sold a steel hatchet for no explainable reason, because there's nowhere you can buy just like a steel pickaxe. In order to make steel stuff, you actually have to get access to GDTE to get maple logs. So really, in the first region, they're selling a tool that you would need to level up from resources in region 2. So it just didn't make a lot of sense. So it sounds like they've looked at that, and they don't want that to be an early leveling strategy, which makes a lot of sense. So I think they're removing it, which I think is a fantastic move.
Yeah, I seem to remember the steel hatchet's not even that expensive. I know that was definitely the first tool that I purchased, because then, there I can make my profits from oak logs right away.
Absolutely. So with that in mind, talking about tools, they're actually relooking at how they do stats on tools, particularly your primary tools, the ones you craft. And they're looking at the effectiveness of tools across the whole tier from copper to Fargonite. They haven't added Fargonite yet, but I'm sure they're balancing for it. And they're looking at the stats all along the ranks, but not just the tiers, but also the rarity, all the way from basic all the way to eternal. And they're kind of looking at it and saying, we want to make it so that getting a higher quality of tool, so a higher rarity when you craft, we want to make it so that it's actually a really big objective. Because the way it works right now is, let's say I get like a Tarsilium pickaxe, because that's like the best pickaxe that you can make right now, crafted. And it's got a certain amount of efficiency on it. That efficiency is going to be the same whether it's a basic one or whether it's an eternal one. So what they're trying to do now is they're trying to make it so that when you get a basic of a tool, it has a smaller amount of efficiency. As you upgrade that tool into a higher rarity tool, not only will it gain extra stats, that efficiency will actually grow by each individual quality that you go up. So an internal pickaxe will have more efficiency than a basic one. Now, on one hand, this is a bit of a nerf, because it means that you actually have to invest more into your tools to get higher output from it. So I was talking to Flower Sifter about this today, and I was very curious. So if we're going to have to work harder to get our tools up to a higher rarity to increase the efficiency, will that give us additional efficiency at those higher quality levels than the standard efficiency we have right now across all the ranks? And he said, no, it doesn't. So my thought was, wasn't that a bit of a nerf? Because if we have to work harder for decent efficiency, because we're going to have to get these higher quality and rarities of tools, that requires more work for the same benefit. And he said, well, not exactly, because there are going to be additional stats added on throughout the different qualities as well. So basically the lesson and everything here is they're redoing what you can expect out of tools based on whether it's copper up to Tarsilium and whether it's from basic up to eternal. And what's really neat is they're going to have overlapping natures of it. So let's say you have like a perfect steel pickaxe. That will probably have more efficiency than a basic Fargonite pickaxe. And so it's not just getting to the top material, it's also what do I have in the highest rarity. So it's going to really change the landscape of crafting.
I'm very pleased. That makes perfect sense to me because I only keep perfect gear. Mm-hmm. And I also believe that if you go up in material, that a basic should be just even slightly higher or at least close or lesser is fine.
Let's say Fargonite is the end tier material for a while and everyone burns all their money to get like perfect and eternal Fargonite. Let's say there's a next tier that comes out. It's going to be a little while before we get replacement gear, because we'd have to get like eternal or perfect in the next tier to even compete.
Shampoo said it, fine materials are for endgame stuff, which makes a lot more sense now. They higher the quality.
There's way more incentive now to do crafting, which again makes me even more tempted to be a smither in combat, because they're really putting an emphasis on regrinding.
There are dozens of items coming into the game, and we get to see a few of them here. One of them that looks like a bracelet, a very colorful bracelet there, reminds me so much of the Easter egg ring in old school RuneScape. And so, I mean, all of these, it's just led to speculation as to what they can do. But I can't wait because they are really, really attractive with the art style. Shout out to Max Chill, who always does a phenomenal job creating things that look so enticing to want to unlock and discover.
There's some really fun ones. I've noticed at the end there appears to be this like adventurer set. I guess it looks like one of those, see them in the movies, like you're bushwhacking through the jungle. So there's this guy, there's this like shirt, a hat, a pants that looks cool. They're epic quality. I'm really curious what that might be, and I'm really curious where it might come from. I wonder if it's part of the achievement tier items that are coming out. And there's like a piggy bank. Oh, I got my mind's all spinning. Like I wonder, like maybe you put money in there and like you get interest. That'd be funny. And then there's like a cowboy hat at the bottom. And then there's another backpack there. I wonder if we're going to get a better backpack than the legendary 4-slot backpack. Wouldn't that be cool?
Very nice. Yes.
And then there's this little amulet there. Okay. This amulet that has like squiggles on it. That was mentioned somewhere in Discord. I won't say where. It's actually in the spoiler section for supporters. So I won't say much about it, but it was there. And there's like beanbag or juggling balls. Who knows?
Yeah.
And then there's legendary shoes of some kind. So, I mean, we already have the medieval shoes, which, really help when you're traveling from place to place. So I'm really curious. I'm very excited for items. Items create so much opportunity and so much motivation to pour yourself into achievements, especially if that's where they're coming from. It's going to make you want to grind achievement points. So our friend MyZozaz has been working really hard on the portal. He has been improving how to link Buy Me a Coffee and Patreon, and he's just been making the portal be in pretty great shipshape. All right, my friends, here's the big one that a lot of us have been waiting. Walkscape is not just a single player game, it is an MMO. And so here finally comes the friend system and the party system. I always really wish that RuneScape had a fantastic, proper party system, but I always wanted like a really good group grinding experience on RuneScape, and it never really happened. Well, anyways, Walkscape will handle that for you. So here they are, There's finally a friend and party system, and they're going to show us actually the steps that they're using to develop it.
The first phase of this implementation will begin with the portal, where you can find and manage your friends, as well as search for other users. And you can also view leaderboards with just your friends as well. And you can make your own profile hidden if you don't want to be searched.
Basically, phase 2 is exactly the same as phase 1. But instead of it just being through the browser on the portal, it's going to be actually in the game. So you're going to be able to, I guess, type people's names in, see them in your group, see them in your party. So this, I guess, will be developing a lot of the infrastructure and a lot of the UI for the friendship and party system.
Here's where it really gets fun. In phase 3, you can build a party from 2 to 10 different players, and you can see them on the in-game map. This also brings a challenge that I'm looking forward to the most, which is where your entire party gets a step goal that each party member can contribute towards. This party leaderboard resets every 2 weeks. And at the end of that 2 weeks, if your party has achieved the step goal, everybody gets a reward. And there's some friendly competition because the person who steps the most within the party gets a bonus reward.
And I think that's really fun. I really, really like this idea for a system. I played Pikmin Bloom, and Pikmin Bloom has like a weekly group challenge where you're all working together toward a goal. And again, that's a walking game, so you're seeing each other's steps. And so I really loved logging in and seeing how my teammates are doing throughout the day and seeing who's leading. And I obviously always wanted to try to get first. So it was always very fun. And I think that's just a fantastic way to really get people to egg each other on and really like pump hard and try and top each other. Well, that's the end of a very exciting Devblog. It's always fun reading about new things that are coming out. I think for me, the thing that is the most exciting is probably the party system. I'm very excited for what's coming. I can't wait for more social features. We just thank you, our fantastic dev team, for working so hard. Thank you, Shampoo, for writing this. We just really appreciate all the hard work. Also from LDH and I, we just want to say thank you, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks for the next Devblog Deep Dive.